Okay, so Bruce the 77 F-150. We'll start at the front. Mostly original, all the trim bumpers and all of that is all original. I painted the original grill inserts black. So, DJM front suspension, 3-inch lowering Dream beams. That's a power steering cooler there mounted to the cross member. Brand new American Racing Torque Thrust Originals. They're 17 by 8 inch, 4.5 inch back spacing, and Toyo 255 60 17 all the way around. They're just some all seasons, nothing fancy, but less than 1,000 miles on them, the wheels and the tires. So this is the original Ford 400 V8, the 351 Cleveland's big brother. Has about 12,000 miles on a rebuild, all good parts, Molly rings, dish pistons, rebuilt Aussie Cleveland heads, so it has about 10-to-1 compression, Hedman headers. The steering box there is a red head rebuild, has a new rag joint there, a new power steering pressure line, new power steering pump, new water pump, a new HEI distributor, Wyand accelerator intake that's pretty new as well. Phytech Go EFI 600 fuel injection. Electric fan on the radiator that's controlled by the Phytech and programmable. Newer master cylinder. New Optima battery, 3G alternator, and I have the large lead from the donor car, and I believe it's like 140 amp fuse there, maxi fuse. Newer solenoid, newer upgraded cable. That is a fuse panel that I added for the Phytech and the two relays there. One is for the fan, one is for the fuel pump. The original paint, as you can see, is in very good condition. There are a few rock chips along the front of the hood. There is a slight ding there on the body line, but it shows very well. It did have a set of the L bracket mirrors on it that I took off. That's what those plugs are about. Has 20% window tint, ceramic tint. Most of it on the paint. The top of the bed where the paint is the thinnest here is crazing. As you can see, the fine little cracks. This here, the strip along there, is from where the original owner had the foam strip for a topper on there. But as you can see, the inside of the bed is very well preserved. There are some dents in the fender wells there, but overall really good condition. The bumper is a powder coated Bronco bumper off a 78 or 9 Bronco. I shaved the license plate lights, and so it has LED lights in the bolts there. This is probably the worst of it as far as the paint goes. Some chips here, and then this crease right here is probably the most noticeable thing, but overall shows really well. Get compliments on it all the time, get a thumbs up, hey cool truck, stuff like that. And I'm not afraid to drive it and haul dogs in the back, haul some stuff to the dump. So it has the original C6 transmission still. It has the Hedman headers, 2.5 inch exhaust, all out of mandrel bends with an H pipe, and the Thrush mufflers that are the copy of a Flowmaster 40 series. Sounds really good. I get compliments on it all the time. Good solid back window with 20% ceramic tint. The steering column was just rebuilt and has a Grant wheel on it. The interior is in very good shape. The carpet is pretty new, was added by the original owner, along with the seat cover, which is very well done, but may not be to everybody's taste. Headliner and everything, really good condition, really complete. Everything works. Does not have a radio. That's how it came to me, and that's just kind of how I kept it, just because I like the sound of the exhaust. But the steering column was just rebuilt with all new bearings. It has that added Jeff's Bronco Graveyard support bearing at the bottom, and a new steering wheel, new turn signal switch. It didn't cancel going one way, I can't remember which one, but now it does both. So when it was originally built, everything was, you can see the drum brake there, painted still, and the paint on the frame. Some of it's come off of the leaf springs and stuff like that. The rear end, you can see the red oxide primer on the pumpkin, and then you can kind of see the shock brackets there to change the angle of the shock, because the rear end is flipped on top of the leaf springs. The rear diff has less than 1,000 miles on it. Also, it is a Detroit True Track and 350 gears. It did have 410s in it, and with the C6 that was just a little bit much on the highway, so it does cruise quite a bit better with the 350s, and can't notice the difference power wise.